Hello, my name's Sian Stevens. I'm the Vice President of Melbourne Business Network, and I'm delighted to be joined today by one of our award sponsors and a fifth-year award sponsor, Bradley Birchall, who is the Managing Director of Northbridge Capital. Bradley, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Sian.
I'm really keen to understand what's going on with Northbridge Capital and all the things that you're seeing out there and capital raising and what's happening in the marketplace and how are founders faring, what's going on. I'd love to get an update.
Yeah, sure. So if I cover off first a little bit about Northbridge Capital, where basically we assist founders and startups in raising capital. And so that's everything from seed round capital all the way up to IPO. And so what that does is it gives us a great insight into what's happening, which is hence the second part of your question around what's happening now in the market. We're seeing a little bit of a cutback in valuations on companies over the last couple of years, and a little bit of a slowdown in capital raising, but not too much. It's more just been on the valuation side. There's still money out there for good companies, and even though lots of people are talking about, a looming downturn and stuff like that, in the capital raising space, it hasn't slowed things down that much. And so there's still good reason for people to be out there looking for capital and to be optimistic. So yeah, that's a positive thing for people.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big space, isn't it? What are you as a company able to do to assist founders?
So basically, how we assist founders is we not only seek to help them raise capital, but we give them guidance on their approach and basically what they're presenting to investors and to the market. And so, a lot of what we do is in preparing them for that capital raise so that when they get in front of investors, they can deal with the sticky questions that often get asked. Because if they're better prepared, they're more likely to get their money and they're more likely to get it faster. And so we try and make sure that they're well prepared before they actually get in front of investors. And part of what we're doing right now to help do that and make it more accessible to founders to actually access really good capital raising services is to provide some courses for people. Not everyone can afford the face-to-face approach with capital raising, and so we think it should be more accessible for founders. And we embarked on building some courses about 6 months ago, and I'm happy to say that it's probably MBN, but will be one of the first groups that we actually make that accessible through to founders and startups.
Oh, amazing. Yes, I know we all work to make sure we keep improving the offering for our members. So that sounds incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
We're happy to do it for the industry.
amazing. Yes. And now the award, I mean, got to be at least the fourth or fifth year that you've been sponsoring. What
Yes,
keeps you affiliated with the award, Bradley?
it's seeing so many good companies and people. It's really encouraging. And especially, we had that sort of hiccup that we all call COVID. And it was so good to see everyone come back into events and do the face-to-face stuff again. And we just see so much positivity in the group. And I see a lot of other groups trying to get their events and everything started up again and having difficulty. And it's really good that straight after COVID, the numbers were back there. We were getting over 100 attendees to an event, and just the participation rate was so high. And given the past quality of submissions for the awards, uh, we're just going to keep sponsoring it. We're there for the long haul, and we really love seeing the applications come in.
Amazing. So what would you say to a nominee who's considering going through that process? What would you say the benefits to them would be?
The benefits are huge because of the exposure. MBN's got a very good following in Melbourne, and not just Melbourne, but a lot of people all over the country look at it. And I know investors keep an eye on it for up and coming companies as well. And they'll get a lot of exposure. And it goes out through emails, goes out over social media, over multiple channels. And to get that sort of exposure yourself as a company is really difficult, and it's costly to roll that out. But because we've got such a good base of members, and because the people on the committee really drive that social media aspect of it for companies, there's a lot of coverage. And there'll be in-person awards. The awards themselves are fantastic for people to attend. Normally, I think we normally get about 120 to 140 people turn up at those awards, which is great exposure. Even if you don't win the awards, just the exposure alone is so worth it.
Yeah, I love that. I couldn't agree more. Bradley, thank you so much for your time. We'd love to hear from you if you think you would be a worthy recipient of this year's New Business Award, sponsored by Northbridge Capital. So check out mbn.org.au/awards, get your application in. We're getting close to closing date, so we really want to hear from you. Got any questions, let us know. And Bradley, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you at awards night and meet our finalists and our winners.
Thanks very much, Sean. Make sure you get those awards in, people. It's not as hard as you think. Just get your submissions in.
Yeah, love it. Thank
Thank you.
you.